Ad Astra follows Brad Pitt's character, a spaceman, as he travels throughout space to get to Neptune to find his long lost father, who is played by a very, very old looking Tommy Lee Jones. I'm going to be honest, I didn't really love this movie, but I also didn't hate it. But the thing that really stands out most for me about this movie is that the visuals are fucking fantastic. There are scenes in this movie that look absolutely amazing, and they look like they're actually on that place. Like there's a whole moon chase on, like they're on moon buggy rover. I don't know what they're called, but there's a huge car scene chase with them, and it looks absolutely real. And there's also a scene with Brad Pitt's character in kind of an asteroid field, and it looks absolutely real. I couldn't get over how amazing this movie actually looked. And I was thinking throughout the movie, this looks a lot like the movie Interstellar, and I found out that the guy who directed cinematography for Interstellar also directed cinematography for this movie. Now, I imagine I'd be a bit baffled if this movie did not get nominated for best cinematography in the Oscars. I'd be I'd be baffled if it didn't get a nomination. I would be absolutely shocked if it didn't get a nomination and did not win. Like if it got didn't get a nomination, I'd be like, what the hell? But if it got a nomination and didn't win, 'cause there's no movie this year that came out so far that I don't know if anything else coming out that is on this level. But if I can't think of any other movie that will come out that can actually beat this movie. Because the one thing I thought that was actually enjoyable about this movie was the fact that it looked absolutely stunning. Unfortunately, when it comes to this movie, it doesn't really give a lot for Brad Pitt's character to say. Like he says a very small amount, and a lot of his dialogue actually comes from voiceover. So to have a character like Brad Pitt, such a major, like a very vocal actor, he doesn't really say much, and it doesn't really seem like it's the kind of role he would have taken. Like I don't understand what the drive was for them to get Brad Pitt for this, because it seems like anyone could do this role just because it doesn't really say much. It's not like some roles you get like certain actors because you just feel like they are made to play those characters. Like Brad Pitt this year alone in Once Upon a Time in Hollywood, I just thought he was perfect for the role. But this movie here, it doesn't really seem like he was made for this role. It just seems like, oh yeah, he was free. Let's just put him in this role. But also along those lines of that, his character is good. Tommy Lee Jones as well isn't like a standout. It seems like he just had a free afternoon or a free 2 weeks. He goes, you know what? I'll just do this movie with Brad Pitt. But even though they're not really a major, like they're in it, like Brad Pitt's in it like majority of the movie, but it doesn't really feel like it's a Brad Pitt movie or a Tommy Lee Jones movie. It just kind of seems like this movie it really falls on the visual effects, and the story kind of falls behind because of that. This movie is also over 2 hours long. I think it's like 2:05, but this movie literally, as I was watching it, I was like, yep, that scene could have been cut out, because this movie could be cut down to about an hour and a half. Like there's a whole kind of a rescue sequence, absolutely pointless. There was no need for it at all. And as I said earlier on in this review, that the visual effects for the moon chase, it was pointless to have. The only reason it was there is because the visual effects were so good, but they could have taken that out as well, because there was no real necessity to have that in the movie, because besides looking good for the moon sequence, no point for it. But the rescue one, even the visuals there weren't like jaw dropping or anything, so there was no need to have the rescue sequence in there. So they cut out these two scenes, and I think there's some other scenes. I can't really remember any other scenes, but I imagine there is other scenes that they could have cut out, which could have made the runtime a lot lower. Overall, it was an okay movie that had some very, very boring parts, but if you do plan on seeing it, I could not recommend it enough to see it in cinema. It's not one of those movies that you can watch on your iPad or sitting there on your phone. The visual effects are born for the cinema. Like the first time I seen Interstellar was on an iPad, and it was no way need. That's not how you should watch Interstellar. The first time you should watch that should be on the big screen, and this is a movie that's exactly like that. If you want to see it, it has to be on the big screen, just because watching it on a phone or iPad, it's not good enough. But if you have seen the movie, let me know what you thought about it down below. And as always, thanks for watching.